carpet bombing, it is not tough talk. It is a different fundamental military strategy than what we've seen from Barack Obama. Barack Obama right now, number one, over 7 years, has dramatically degraded our military. You know, just 2 weeks ago was the 25th anniversary of the first Persian Gulf War. When that war began, we had 8,000 planes. Today we have about 4,000. When that war began, we had 529 ships. Today we have 272. You want to know what carpet bombing is? It's what we did in the first Persian Gulf War. 1,100 air attacks a day. Saturation bombing that utterly destroyed the enemy. Right now.
That was a big moment for Senator Ted Cruz tonight as he scored points with voters talking about rebuilding the U.S. military. Joining us now, Texas Senator and Republican presidential candidate Ted Cruz. Senator, great to see you.
Megyn, it's great to be back.
I thought that was one of your strongest moments. I mean, just ticking it off one by one, because so many people have made an issue out of that carpet bombing quote, and you were clearly ready to explain exactly what the plan is, which isn't that easy to do. I mean, it's a complex issue. How do you think it went?
Look, I feel very good about it. I think the voters got a clear contrast. And, you know, particularly here in Iowa, as I mentioned, we're 93 hours out. I mean, this is the time people are making their decisions. And I think you saw a real contrast between campaign conservatives and a candidate who has been a consistent, proven conservative over and over again. I think that's what the people of Iowa are looking for. I think that's what people are looking for across the country.
Obviously, it's a very different dynamic tonight because we were missing the front runner who decided not to come. Well, how did that change the experience for you?
Well, you know, just before we went on air, you were joking that it was sort of like Voldemort, he who must not be named.
But that's how it seemed. The anchors were saying that about you guys, because none of you was mentioning him, and we wondered whether you had a pact not to mention Donald Trump.
You know, it certainly wasn't any on my end. I think that was organic. I think it was just sort of natural. We wanted to discuss the issues. We got into some substantive disagreements, which I think were healthy and productive. I will say this, the exchanges were much more civil. You didn't have any gratuitous insults. And I think that's something that the voters deserve. It is an actual exchange where you can compare the candidates' records, the candidates' views, the candidates' vision.
Another thing that I noticed, you tell me what you thought, but the attack seemed much more focused on your Democratic likely opponent, Hillary Clinton, and a little less on each other, which you heard Frank Lentz's focus group say they liked.
Yes.
They want to see you talking about her, apparently.
Well, listen, we have got to win in 2016. I mean, I think the stakes, they have never been higher. There is an urgency about this election that I think if we go another 4 or 8 more years down this road, we risk losing the whole country. I mean, there comes a point where the debt's too great.
Do you think that's getting lost? Because so many of these debates, they sort of sizzle, and there are these sharp elbows and these sort of, you know, big moments. But you and Senator Rubio were both making that point you just made tonight.
You know, I don't think it's being lost. I mean, we're doing a bus tour across the state of Iowa. On Monday, we will complete what's called the full Grassley, which is going to all 99 counties. And then Senator Chuck Grassley does that every year. And everywhere we go, we're seeing this incredible excitement. You know, we were in a town of 600 people. 150 of the 600 came out to our event. 25% of the town. I think people are really, they're scared about what their kids are inheriting, their grandkids are inheriting, and that urgency is really driving the excitement.
I mean, it's incredible to think that the voting begins, as you say, in 90 hours. Let's talk about that immigration exchange that you and I had, because, well, let's play a clip, and then we'll get into it. Watch. Was that all an act? It was pretty convincing.
You know, the amendment you're talking about is one sentence. It's 38 words. Anyone can go online at tedcruz.org and read exactly what it said. In those 38 words, it said anyone here illegally is permanently ineligible for citizenship. It didn't say a word about legalization.
But the bill allowed both. The bill you were amending allowed citizenship and legalization.
But, Megyn, the bill was 1,000 pages. I introduced a series of amendments, each designed to fix problems in the bill. The fact that each amendment didn't fix every problem didn't mean that I supported the rest of the bill.
So what I was trying to get at there was, you know, the bill offered both legalization and citizenship, and you tried to take away citizenship, which would have allowed legalization still. But I mean, I look back at your record a lot to see, did Ted Cruz really want legalization or didn't he? I think the record supports you that you did not want it. It does. That it really was a poison pill amendment. What I was trying to get to you was, it just seems weird for the average person to see, like, the acting when you're trying to sell it, saying, I want the bill to pass.
But no. What I said is I want immigration reform to pass.
You also said the bill.
I didn't say I want the bill to pass.
I promise you.
I
played it. That was the very first soundbite we played, the very first one.
What I said is I want immigration reform to pass, and I've laid out on my website an 11-page, very, very detailed immigration plan that I would like to have passed. We've got to secure the borders. We've got to stop illegal immigration. We need to.
You were talking about people coming out of the shadows. It seems like acting.
Well, look, what I often do, particularly when debating Democrats, and I was debating Chuck Schumer there, is use the language of the Democrats to show their hypocrisy. Because you know what? Chuck Schumer and the Democrats talked about people coming out of the shadows, but it wasn't about that. It was about votes.
And they were saying at the time that it wasn't about citizenship, and you were trying to put the lie to that. Is that as I read your testimonials on this, that's how I read it.
No, that's exactly right. They said it was all about bringing people out of the shadows, and I said, well, great, then you should be happy to take citizenship off the table. And of course, Chuck Schumer responded, if there is no citizenship, there is no reform, we'll kill the whole thing. And, you know, there's an old joke that the new politically correct term for illegal aliens is now undocumented Democrats. This was about votes, and that amendment laid that bare, and when the hypocrisy was shown to the American people, that's one of the reasons we were able to kill it. It's why Jeff Sessions said, if it wasn't for Cruz,
he was
but Jeff went further.
You just have to look at the party lines.
He said if Ted wasn't there,
listen,
this
I looked at this for a long time, and I thought, is he lying about this poison pill thing? The record supports you that it was a poison pill. It's just, you know, the drama. Like, you are running on being outside the cartel. It seemed a little cartel-y. You're playing the cartel-y game.
But Megyn, I don't think it is at all. When I campaigned for Senate, I said I was categorically opposed to amnesty. When I got to the Senate, I was categorically opposed to amnesty. And today, I'm categorically opposed to amnesty. You know what's interesting? In the Republican field, I am the only person on that stage, the only Republican running, who opposes amnesty, who opposes a pathway to citizenship. Marco Rubio and Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, all three of them support a pathway to citizenship. Right now, even Donald Trump, who uses a lot of tough language, says that we should send people home, but then let them back in and become citizens. That, as you know, is what's called touchback. The establishment Republicans, it's a form of amnesty, the Trump touchback, where they fly home, they touch the ground, and come back as citizens. I am the only Republican running who has consistently opposed amnesty every single day, and will do so as president.
You do have a consistent record on that. I will give you that, Senator. We did look back on that. Thank you very much, and congratulations.
Megyn, thank you very much. A nice job tonight.
Great to see you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Well, still a lot more to come with Brett Baer, Chris Wallace, Chris Steyerwalt, Howie Kurtz.